Good morning. It's me, Virginia. Pam and I decided that we wanted to do a little review of fractal spinning. We did some fractal spinning when we did the French fiber video, and we thought we'd just talk a little bit more about it today. All fractal spinning really means is what order you spin your colors and how you do that, and it can be very complicated and very intense and very mathematical, or it can be extremely simple. Just to get an idea, one of the first things that Pam and I did when we got together was we did a spinning raw natural, and we chose 3 or 4 different natural fibers to spin, and we spun them all on one bobbin, and then we knit them up. And so the striations and the different colors in this come from the way we spun the yarn. And all fractal spinning really is, all it really means is how you spin your color combinations to get a yarn at the end. And it could be extremely simple. If you had 2 colors, you can do a fractal spin where you would you might spin them side by side like this, and you'd get one look. You could spin all of this and then all of this and then ply them together, and you'd get kind of a barber pole kind of look. You can divide your bat in half and in pieces and maybe spin one piece of this and then one piece of this and then one piece of this, like that. So you can see it's really common sense. The order that you spin the colors in are going to give you a different kind of yarn. That's all it really means. It's kind of a intimidating thought for some, but it really isn't intimidating at all. So I just wanted to show you, before we go into clips of what we had done with our color waves, I wanted to show you this was spun as a fractal yarn. Even though it looks like I changed colors here multiple times, I didn't. This yarn was spun as a fractal. In other words, it's a 2-ply, so I had to be very careful about the way I spun the first ply and duplicate it for the second ply. So these colors will change all the way through. And it makes it look, when you spin like this, it makes it look as though you've changed yarns all the time. Now, in the upcoming video, which we're going to show you, Pam is demonstrating how to, what she did was a big fat single and with some texture, and she randomly went from one color to the next. So I think she starts with the medium, then she goes to the dark, then she goes to the light, then when she feels like it, she switches back, and then maybe back again, and then maybe back again. So her end yarn has a variation of color that just goes back and forth. It's not something that she wanted to be in bold segments, and you'll see when you see her finished product what it looks like. If you do a lot of this and then a lot of that and a lot of this, when you knit it up, you'll get kind of a striping. If you do just a little of this and a little of this and a little of this, you'll get a lot of different color changes. So the whole idea is to just have some fun and play and see what you get. I have my 3 fibers here. I've taken a piece of each. This is the Valet de Noir, the black, the Bizet, which is the lighter gray, and this is the blend of both. So what I'm going to do, I'd like to do, again, a yarn that is gradient. So I'm going to start by just weighing out equal amounts of each of these. In this case, a little less than half an ounce. Now, these are already in a gradient. That needs a little bit more. These are already in a gradient because actually this middle one is a combination of these 2. So you can go ahead and spin these 3 as a gradient, but remember, if you're doing a 2-ply, you need 2 singles. So I've decided to do about a ½ ounce of the dark. Then I've gotten, this is a ½ ounce of both the dark and the blend, so it's going to be a darker blend, and I'm just going to kind of mix this up, and as I go to spin it, I'll do this again. Now, if you want to, you can actually card that. Then I have the medium, the blend that we got from France. Now I'm going to take that blend again and mix it half and half with the lighter. So I've got a lighter blend and a darker blend. Now this is going to be for a 2-ply, so that's why I'm not using all of my fiber here. I'm going to have to spin this and then spin another single just like it to ply.
The way I chose to spin it is a bit of a bulkier yarn than Virginia chose. So, I mean, I'm not terribly bulky, but I'm doing a semi-bulky with maybe some thinner spots here and there. I'm drafting out a shorter draft. I'm staying close to the spool here because I don't want to make this really a dense yarn without any air, because I think it's the yarn shows better if you leave some air in it. So I'm just putting enough twist in it and letting it be drafted into the onto the bobbin. Do a little piece of this. Virginia, I don't know, how did you spin yours and what did you find?
And I'm starting my gradient with the darkest, which is the Valet de Noir. It's very bouncy. It has a lot of small crimp in it. This is the next bit in my gradient spin. I have mixed the black Valet with the gray mix that we have. So that's what I'm playing with next. You don't really need to see me go through all of the stages of the gradient, but here's the next one in any case. So Pam, when you're spinning, you're using different colors randomly, right?
Yeah, so I just went along here with mine and I've mixed the colors back and forth. I am very happy with my beret, the way it came out, the feel of it, the texture.
So I've gone from laying it out in gradient colors, spinning 2 single bobbins of gradient colors, and then I'm starting with my Valet de Noir, the blackest end of both of my singles, and I'm plying them together. So let's see how it turns out. So here we are. We're going to talk a little bit more about fractal spinning. We gave you that brief overview of working with some color and some gradients, which Pam and I did for the French fiber. And now we just wanted to give you a little bit more about actual fractals, which not only are repeatable, but are the same as you get down smaller and smaller. So what we're going to do is we're going to use all 3 of these again. And we're going to spin we're going to do a 2-ply, and we're going to spin both plies a different way. That really begins to get into what fractals are. Okay, so here I've laid out my fiber. Both of these are the same amount of fiber, roughly. This will be 1 single, and this will be 1 single. And all I really did was I broke up my colors so that I'm going light, medium, dark, light, medium, dark. And then I took these and divided them in half again. So, in other words, 2 of these these would equal the same weight as this one. So this strand of yarn is going to have a lot of color changes much more quickly. And this ply yarn is going to have much longer waves of color, and that's repeatable. So here we're going to have, when we ply it together, we're going to have the light, the light, the light, the medium. Okay, so it will be like that. Assuming we start with the light side on here, on this, then this ply thread will be plied with this, so it'll be this, and then this and that. This will be these 2, this and this, this and this. This will be these 2, the light, the medium, and so on. I don't know if you can even see this far on the table, but the medium, the dark, and then the dark with the medium. So I hope you can see that. And the only difference in this fiber, we've laid them out in the same colors, light, medium, dark, light, medium, dark, light, medium, dark, okay? But these are twice as big as these. So obviously when we apply them together, we're going to get quite a different look. And that's sort of the beginning introduction to what fractals are. So let me spin these. I'll show you the bobbin when I've done this single, and then I'll show you the bobbin when I've done this single, and then we'll apply them together and take a look. Okay, see you in a bit. So I hope you can see on the spools where the fiber has been spun up as a single, and then they'll be applied together, and they are light, medium, dark on the first bobbin, the first single, and then they are light, medium, dark on the second bobbin, which is going to be applied. All right, and in the yarn you can see that all the colorations, there are 6 different patterns that repeat in this yarn, and it would repeat as long as you kept spinning those same amounts in that same order. So it is a light to light, a light to medium, a medium to dark, a medium to light, a dark to dark, a dark to medium, and on and on and on and on. So you can see that the way that yarn changes. And then here it is knit up. Try to take this out a little bit. This is what it looks like, at least this is a size 8 needle, and you can see that the repeat is almost stripy because I have such big runs on the one ply, but we've got the dark on the dark, and then it moves into the dark and the medium, and then it moves into the medium, and then it moves from the medium to the medium and gray, and then the gray to the white, and then the white to the white and dark, and then the dark. And that pattern will continue to repeat. If this was going to be a scarf, it would repeat that same way. It's sort of like a gradient, but it really is different. It's a fractal because it has been, one of the plies is different than the other, and it's in the same repeatable pattern. So it just gives you an idea of what something like that would knit up like. Really, you want to experiment with this whole idea. There are a lot of places where you can take this much further, and certainly when you're working with color and roving, there's an awful lot to it, and it's a lot of fun to be able to predict how your yarn's going to come out and how you want to spin it. But those are the basics. The very basic idea is to be able to think about the color runs that you're doing and how one ply will vary from the other, but yet it will be in the same interstice, the same spacing. So go out, have some fun, enjoy. Thanks. Bye.